Hey folks, Dooger Does here, welcome to my channel. Now, today I'm doing a movie review, and I'm going to start with saying that this movie took me back to my childhood and teen years. I was a big wrestling fan as a child, and one of the people that I really looked up to as a child was Jake the Snake Roberts. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. Started out in Mid-South Wrestling, went on to WWE and won many titles. Always carried a snake around, and if you know who I'm talking about, you know what he did. Well, this movie is called The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, and it's about his climb out of addiction and back into the wrestling world, getting into the Hall of Fame, so on and so forth. And he gets help from his friend and student, Diamond Dallas Page, who was also a great wrestler in WCW, WWE, TNA, another great wrestler who I grew up watching as well. Also in the movie was Razor Ramon, who, if you remember him from WCW and WWE, another great wrestler. He was a tag team partner with Diesel for many years. He was also struggling with addiction as well, and whenever he heard how well Diamond Dallas Page was doing with Jake the Snake and bringing him out of his addiction, he wanted help as well. So it was basically not only a story about their fight through addiction, but their friendship as well. And I want to go back for a minute and talk about another movie that kind of prefaced this and really showed how bad Jake the Snake was really off. Back in 1999, there was a movie done called Beyond the Mat. And in that movie, rather than getting Jake the Snake the help he really truly needed, they basically used his addiction to use it to make money off of him. They just basically showed a steep decline into an addiction, and his career went into the tubes. And in the movie, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, you actually get to see how far he went. He actually showed up to a match drunk, and they signed him because of his name and thought that he would bring in some more viewers. Well, his first initial match, he lost in 30 seconds, mainly because he was drunk. And that's whenever he realized he needed to get out of this. And luckily, Diamond Dallas Page reached out to him. For me, or let me get into some stats first, and then I'll tell you how I was affected by this movie. It came out in 2015. It's an hour and 38 minutes long. It is directed by Stephen Yu. And you'll see a lot of other big names in there as well. You'll see Gene Okerlund. You'll see Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. You'll also see Gold Dust, or Dusty Rhodes, son of, Dustin Rhodes, who's the son of Dusty Rhodes, who's an addict as well and talks about his own addiction. So it was really not so much about wrestling, but how being out of the limelight affected their addiction, both in and out of the ring. And for me, it struck home because I had a brother and an uncle who committed suicide as a result of their drug use. I believe had they not been in the throes of addiction that they would still be here today. And as a result, I've never touched drugs. After losing my brother, I swore I would never, ever think of doing drugs. But that doesn't mean I don't have my own addiction. We all have something that we need as a vice, whether it be gambling, smoking cigarettes, drinking a lot, watching too much porn, you name it. There's all kinds of addictions. And, you know, it brought me back to what I dealt with as a teenager and what I still struggle with today. And this movie is a really good watch. It had me in tears because there were elements in it that reminded me of my own struggles with my own addiction. And I think anyone who has an addiction and watches this will feel it as well. And I know Jake the Snake is back on his feet and doing okay, but he's still got to deal with his addiction to alcohol and drugs. It's never going to go away. It's always going to be with him. And as an addict myself, I know what that means. You know, you're going to fall, you're going to stumble, but as long as you get back up and fight through it, you're going to come out on the other side okay. And for me, it took me going to a hospital to get better. And it doesn't mean I was, you know, cured all the way around. I still deal with my addiction, but it's still there. It's not going to go away. So most definitely give this movie a watch. And if you have someone in your life that may be fighting this issue as well, you may want them to watch it as well. And also give Beyond the Mat a watch. In fact, I think you should watch Beyond the Mat first to see how bad Jake the Snake got. And then watch this one where he kind of makes a redemption of his life. That way you'll see exactly what it takes to come out on the other side. With that being said, this is Dooger Does, saying do good and deuces. Bye-bye.